Yeah, I feel like a broken record already. This is episode 6, and again, I'm going to say we're going to have a busy episode. We're going to finish our central square with shops, and we're going to extend the tram line over there as well so people can reach our school. Also, we are going to address our residential demand by building a small neighborhood, and as always, we have enough detailing to do to fill a separate episode with. So, without further ado, let's get started. So what I do want to do is develop this part of the town, and beforehand I have already moved over the power plants and the water purifying installation. And for now, what I do want is a small area where we can build a school, some services buildings as well, because at the moment we aren't looking all that well. So if you notice this one, these areas do have a high fire hazard. So we're going to place down some fire stations, at least to service these areas. And we'll come back later to that area down there. And of course, we do also need some police. So the crime rate isn't that high, but of course police does help level up those buildings. And we obviously can't forget our education. In this part of the town, it looks pretty nice, but over here it's not too good, as you can see. So we're going to fix that as well. What I do notice is we have lots of open spaces here, so it is quite, or it can become quite boring if we continue with our grid-like pattern. So I do want to switch that up somehow. I'm not sure how yet, but we'll just see where we can take it this episode. I also would like to have some extra space for the tram line, which is over here. And I think it will be nice if we can drag it along this road, have it cross the avenue or dip down below the avenue. I'm not sure yet, and connect up here so we can have a nice circular tram line for this part of town. So that leaves me with starting to put down our road layout. Like I said, I'm not really sure if we want to continue this grid layout we have going for us here. So I'll just make it a little bit more exciting. Have a little space for the tram here with a green belt, and perhaps some more space to dip under this road here. Of course, I do want my services buildings within a sort of central square, so I'm just going to lay down the ends of the neighborhood we're going to build today, and I just want this one to connect in a nice almost 90-degree angle here, and I'll just remove those trees over here so they don't come popping through, and I guess we'll just do it over here as well. Let's make that a little bit bigger, our brush, and let's see what we have. That's some residue smoke after we move those buildings over there. Yeah, so I think in the center I do want to have it a little bit grid-like, but we are going to make sure we have some different structures as well, or different layouts as well. And I think we'll have a couple of blocks in the middle. This is, I guess, big enough for what we are going for here with the services buildings. So we have enough buildable area, not too much, so let's make this a little bit smaller so we have some more room for our residential areas. And I see I went with the road with the median here. I think it's good over here, but I'm not too fond of it for the rest of this area. So I'm just going to upgrade these, but on these through roads, I'll just call them. That's fine by me. And yeah, let's make sure we do have some sort of interesting looking road layouts here. I do want to have them connected in multiple roads because I don't want any place to be the bottleneck. And let's turn on anarchy and make this a little bit stick out further. What I also want to do is make sure we have some space for a park here. What I do like is the, I think it's the Parkify mod, with which you can place more buildings on parks or paths, and that is quite nice. I do want to have some park buildings placed in here already, so we know what we are working with. And I was looking for the park with the pond. Let's just look for it. And I think, well, let's see, the old bridge park, but I think the pond park is quite well. So it won't let me plop it down if I don't have a main gate. So I'll just plop 2 of those down right here and move them out of the way. Yeah, they don't have road access. I am well aware of that, but we'll make sure they have road access later on. And let's remove those trees here as well, so we can know what we are working with. Right. Let's continue placing down the roads. I think those parks here look quite nicely, and I do want to connect them up with some paths as well, and I'll connect this road up here as well. And I'm just building or laying down the roads quite fast. I'm trying to make some interesting shapes around here. I think I said it in the previous episode as well, not everything has to be really exciting, but I do like some variation within the builds we have. And I think, yeah, I'm not going for a cul-de-sac here because I have some ideas for that for a different episode. And these smaller roads are quite nice as well. So I think we do have a nice road layout. Maybe I'll just pop out some more smaller roads here. Those are the alleyways, I assume. They look quite nice in these small neighborhoods. Yeah, I think we have got it. Let's place down a gate for that park so we can. Yeah, it's a gateless one. I don't really mind placing down a regular a gated entry, and we'll make a small one for that at the moment. And let's make a side gate right off this road here. And I do like to have my networks placed beforehand, so let's connect this one up, and let's connect this one up right there. Doesn't have to be curved or just go out like this, but what I do like to have is a sort of idea that they are going all the way to the other side and connect up like so. So they have sort of a visual connection as well. And this one may follow right here. And let's make sure it connects up there. That fits quite nicely. So we do have the parks like this. And of course, they also need to be able to get in from the backside. And let's do the same over here. Walkability is always a good thing to have in your cities. And let's make sure we have some access all over so we can detail them later a little bit more. And we have happy Sims, or how would we call our inhabitants of our city, our residents. All right. So I think for now the road layout is quite good. I'll just start by placing down the boring schools and stuff. Let's see, the high capacity elementary school is an option. I just don't really like it here. I think it's way too big for this neighborhood, so let's just keep it up a little bit smaller, and we'll just place down the regular elementary school. Let's also place down a regular high school. That one looks good, but maybe the big one, yeah, the big one is just a little bit too big for my taste. And let's put on collision, so we won't place something down by accident. I'll make sure to extend the backs or place down some nice props here as well. Obviously, you know, I can take a lot of time developing a certain neighborhood, but yeah, I hope you enjoy that. Let's place down a firehouse as well. And of course, a police station. So we have done that, and of course we mustn't forget our medical clinic firstly. And yeah, I think I do want it outside of this area a little bit. Let's see if we can. Let's just place it down right here. And of course, what we do need here obviously is some parking. I'll just place in the parking lot roads again. It's probably fine to drag this one out like so, and have one perpendicular here to have a little bit of a change of scenery. Of course, we will have to fill those in with the decals, but let's get back to that in 1 second. And place down some paths again, so people can exit the parking lot in a nice and orderly manner without treading on the grass, because we don't want them to step over our grass and like that. And this one can run between those buildings. There we go. For this area, mostly I think it is okay to just zone it in and see what grows in. And I will make sure we have some path connections first before I do that, so people can still walk everywhere or take the bike. And let's make sure those are connected up as well. Yeah, that is fine. And let's make sure this path follows the grid and follows the other paths as well, to make sure we have, or visibly, I hope, cohesive structure or layout. And this one can follow to that road. And again, connectivity is key. And let's just pull one in right here, so we can build a little playground area within, well, behind these buildings over there. I'm not sure if I want to place some houses alongside of the avenue. Usually I'm not too fond of that, but in this case, why not? So there we go, and make sure this one is connected here as well. Okay, I'll just fill those in. I'm not going to plop down a lot of houses here. That's going to take forever, and obviously we can't plop down everything we want. Maybe we'll come back to this area later and and plop some houses down either way. Or for now, we'll just make sure we have some of the residential demand fulfilled before turning our attention back to, that's not this one, before turning our attention towards the other part of town and placing down the tram lines, which, well, I for sure have been waiting to do for quite some time. So, well, as we can see, residential demand has been diminishing a little bit. It seems we have some water issues. Let's see, water availability is down. I'll pause the game and let's place down a water facility. We don't have the large water tower yet, unfortunately. I do like those. But for now, I'm not really fond of the pumping station. Just feels awkward placing them alongside of the coast somewhere. But on the other hand, placing down two water towers in the same spot isn't quite normal too. So yeah, I thought placing them down within the interchange, but there's no way of servicing that water tower. And although the city isn't that realistic, let's make sure it is a little bit realistic. Yeah, well, it doesn't have to be a big decision. I'm just going to place it down within this interchange right here. So that should, yeah, that ended our water shortage. For now, I think we'll let this grow a little bit, and before I forget, let's place in the parking decals. It's something we mustn't forget. You might have heard it from my voice. I have a little bit of a cold, which is quite weird because the weather is quite nice, or has been quite nice lately. Then again, I do have a 1-year-old kid. Who's probably bringing home all the viruses from daycare. Okay. Let's place two more down there. And of course, a smaller one. There we go. At least people can park here, which is nice. And let's see, they are growing in quite nicely. So, yeah, let's turn our attention to the other part of town. Yeah, and we are here. What I wanted to do is make sure we have a tram connection going in here to relieve our high school here and our elementary school a little bit. Make sure we have a plaza or something of the sort where people can come and shop. So let me start with placing down the tram tracks here, and I think I want to go with the tram tracks as mentioned. Let's see if we can make this a nice 90-degree angle. Yes, we can. See if we can prevent these buildings from disappearing. I'm not sure we can, so unfortunately we have to call mulligans. What I think I learned from City Planner Place. And let's make sure we'll drag it along here. Yeah, drag it out a little bit further. I do want to have it just behind these shops and make it go around. I'll delete this section here. It's just too lazy to add in another node. I think you can catch my idea a little bit. How far is this out? 8 units. I think that is quite okay. And we have it like so. Yeah, I think I want some shops facing the other direction as well, so I will just remove those for now, and I'll place down an alleyway again on the other side. Let's remove the zoning too. So I want to have this feel like a sort of central city square with a lot of places to shop where you can go by tram. Make sure we have a walkable or a pleasant neighborhood here. And I'm always struggling with these zoning blocks. Yeah. And only remove them from both sides, it seems, because if I can place those back, that's okay. And the same for this one. So we can have zoning on the recently placed alleyways instead of on the other roads. And yeah, let's make sure these alleyways connect up to the other side. Like so, and let's remove the zoning from those roads as well. Those small parts right here. All right. I think we can leave these right here, or do we want some extra? Yeah, I think we do want to have an extra alleyway behind those roads as well. And I will build them quite close to the intersection. I don't think that will be a problem, but not all the way up until that point. Like this. So there's some place for some shops, and I think I will plop those in, so I'm not too worried about filling them in. So here is the basis of our city square. Of course, we are going to move this one perhaps smack in the middle. That looks great for now. And like I said, I am not going to grow it in. Yeah, I'm going to look for some nice buildings to place down, and I'll be right back. Yeah, so I first off camera I switched up the roads. I changed those a little bit closer to the tram line. I can of course use a tram road here for the center square, but I just don't want any cars drive over these roads, and we don't have pedestrian areas yet, so I'm not going to play around with the traffic manager and ban traffic from those roads. I'll just fix it like this. I think I've found some nice places, some nice shops, and of course some restaurants. With some of these, we can extend the area a little bit, like this one. Place down some of those bricks or some decals on the floor and some extra tables. And I did like these. Those are the university campus creator packs, I think. And I do like those. The bookstore, the throwback Sky Trust. They look quite fitting right here. This asset also quite nice. It is a fancy boutique on the corner right here in front of the school. Looking good. And of course, shaking, big shake, milkshake place, and some food places. And on the other side, some shops. I think this looks quite nice. I think this is the feeling we want right here. And of course, there is a lot of detailing to do. And I see we have some gaps right here. Let's see if we can fit in a smaller corner shop on this spot. I think that should be here. Yes, of course. And let's see if we can find another nice one for the other corner. No. Let's see. Yeah, this one. They look amazing. Let's pull it up to this corner a little bit, and there's going to be a small offset because of this road is a little bit bigger. Yeah, I do like it, and of course, it is time to start detailing around. Yeah, I'll see you in a bit. Okay, so let's see what we've done here while detailing this area. I've obviously started by moving out the water tower that was in the center of this square, and I replaced it with the Great Fountain Square, or I'm not sure what the name was, but I did find it quite fitting, and it fit exactly within the place I had left. So I think it looks cool. We've obviously detailed the edges with little autosave with some shrubs and some flowers, and of course a little sitting area like I love to do a lot. Some trees over here, and of course we extended this little area. Like I said, I didn't really think it was necessary to go along all of these shops and place fences. I really wanted this area to be or to have a more of an open look, which I think worked out quite well. We went around the corners, placed some planters with flowers. They look good. They look good. And of course, we placed down some round planters with some birches, some nice trees, and of course, some small flowery bushes. And this small patch of greenery in front of the school parking lot and between behind this road was pain in the eye. Well, not a pain in the eye, it's exaggerating, but we've placed down some planters here as well, and we've livened it up with some birches and I think an oak, another type of oak. And we have this small green place, or this small place between the avenue entering the city and a sort of shopping mall area we have over here. And we've placed down a small sidewalk restaurant with some bushes as well. And I think it looks pretty good. It looks pretty good. Looking at the center here with these bricks, I do love those assets. And yeah, I think next episode we are going to fill in some more gaps with some bushes and trees. Nothing too fancy. We might have to take a look at our transportation as well. We just put in the tram tracks over here, but what we need to do is put in the tram lines. And to make that possible, I think we need to close this loop. So we have a loop around here, a loop around this area here, and then we can start extending the tram line along the coast here. Yeah, so that will be our big plan for next episode. And of course, we mustn't forget filling up this residential neighborhood. It has filled up quite nicely, but of course this isn't it yet. You're going to place down some more houses, fill in these park areas over here. And we have a busy episode again next episode. What I want to do also is make sure we will reach our next milestone. I'm not sure if we are going to reach it the next episode, or obviously we are going to get to the busy town next episode. But what I do like to have is the big town, because the big town gives us the high density residential zoning options, and we are dying to place down some height in this city. It looks good, but we can obviously use some height. Well, thank you all for watching again, and I will see you in the next episode.